All right, Night Owls, welcome back into NiteMoodzHDQ. I'm your host, Michael, back here in the lab, live on our YouTube channel. I want to say hello to everyone there. Over here at the bridge, for the second half of the inspiration, you want to join me on the YouTube channel, send an email over or connect on the Facebook page or any of our social media platforms, and we'll get you over to the YouTube link. I want to say hello to you guys watching the show here and the podcast, simultaneously going to be delivering you the inspiration side of part 2, how to let it go. I have some awesome things in store, but we just completed the first 30 minutes of the show of relaxation. And now we're over here at the bridge. And in this special moment, and the bridge always represents in our lives, and you may not understand this, but whenever you come through a lesson, there always is this bridge. This bridge is the Holy Spirit. And He allows you and helps you walk over the rugged terrain below. He helps you to not be succumb to what's underneath the bridge. Like maybe it could be water. It could be rocks. The bridge is sometimes icy, which helps you get across the bridge much faster. But this is to allow you to get to your destination. The bridge is a connector, and the Holy Spirit is a connector. And you may be listening to the show for the first time, and you may not have any connection to Jesus. You may not have any connection to the Holy Spirit, but this is a divine scheduled appointment for you to join the Night Owls. And I want to encourage you, one, with the atmosphere that you're listening to, and albeit our YouTube channel cannot hear the atmosphere, but that's okay. They can hear my voice. But the words are words of inspiration, of encouragement, of empowering you. And so we're going to talk about, as you all come over, the Night Owls come over to the bridge, and you now can walk over. And I truly hope that you have received an encounter. You engaged the presence of the kingdom. Maybe prayer was answered. Maybe God ruled on a petition. Maybe He's maneuvering in your situation, in your circumstance, in your crisis. Just maybe. Give Him every benefit of the doubt. You came this far, why give up now? So we're going to talk about how to let it go. How you can let it go. What is the it for you? Last night I talked about myself a little bit, about a health crisis to me, a personal health crisis. And I hope to share that again in detail. But I shared that so that you understand, as your host and chief mood officer, I'm human like you, duh. But I go through life just as much as you go through life, and sometimes we are hit with life, and it takes everything inside of us to learn how to give up control. And when we finally learn how to give up control, we can make that choice how to let it go. Now, in this word, how to let it go, I'm going to help us out. How to let it go has everything is in that word, it. Whatever the it is to you, how to let it go. How do I let this go, Mike? I'm in an abusive relationship. How do I let it go? I have choices to make that could alter life. How do I let it go? Everybody has bills. Making the right choices. But when we're talking about how do I let it go, I'm talking about life. And not minimizing the Night Owl's life, your life. I want you to understand that, as we shared in the last hour, the last 30 minutes, that you are important. So because you are important, everything that matters to you is important. and it carries weight, it carries value. And sometimes we add more value to a stress than what it ought to be. And then that value takes on an invaluable amount, less than the fullness of worth. And then it becomes like dead weight. It's like this dead weight that you take everywhere you go. And when you move, and we have moved a time or two. So like when you're boxing up stuff, are you one that boxes everything to take it with you? Or do you discard items that you don't need, you don't have any room for, that you can't take it with you? How many of you choose to box everything up? And how many of you let it go? And what is the choice that happens? What are the things that are in that process for you that helps you to choose, I'm going to put it in the box, I'm going to put it in the treasure trough, and I'm going to seal it up, I'm going to take it with me? And how about for you who is packing and you can only take so much, and you're going to take what is valuable to you, and all the valuable matters cannot go in the box? If that's you, send an email over to NiteMoodzHDQ. I want to talk to you about this some more. How to let it go. And I want to share some things with you here. A couple quotes. Let God have your life. He can do more with your life than you can do. Dwight L. Moody from Moody Bible Institute in Chicago. Letting it go. What if it has everything to do with pain? Like I said, I talked about, for me, a health crisis that I'm dealing with to this day, dealing with it with the expectancy that I won't have a third surgery for the achalasia. But I've let control over how I'm handling and managing with achalasia. And this is from C.S. Lewis. Getting over a painful experience is much like crossing monkey bars. You have to let go at some point in order to move forward. C.S. Lewis. I love that. It doesn't minimize the connection, but you have to continue forward. And if you continue in a forward motion, you'll soon see the emotions dissect from the problem or the stress. The stress is going to be there. But as you detach yourself from being in the middle, being engulfed in the stress, you begin to find clarity. And now let's add the common denominator to how to let it go. Trusting in the Holy Spirit. Not trusting in yourself, but getting a superior connection that will guide you through. And as I sit here thinking about this, how many of you are struggling with letting something go? If it has anything to do with your past, that's blocking your future, that's keeping your focus from the present. And anything that's keeping the focus out of your present and to your past is what needs to be let go. Well, how do I let it go? Well, I like to do this practice. And I'll stand up or sit down and place into my hands the history. And not all bad history, Or not all good history, not all bad history is good history, not all good history is bad history. But as you process what is to your good and what you can learn from the bad and the history behind you, you can begin to understand the importance of pushing forward and then trusting in Jesus. Trusting in Jesus. I want to share this with you. This is 1 Peter 5 and 7. Be sober, be on the alert. Your adversary, the devil, walks around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Resist the devil. Be steadfast in your faith, because you know the same kinds of sufferings are being accomplished by your community of believers in the world. Some things have to be resisted in life. There's a choice that I will not allow that to bother me as much as it has been bothering me. How to let it go. How to let it go. Hello, you're calling Night Moods. How may I help you? This is Michael. Welcome to the lab. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh, I appreciate this phone call. You know what? Take a deep breath. Take a slow, deep breath. This is what we do in the first half of the radio show. Take a deep breath. And as you take a deep breath, I want you to consciously place this in the hands of Jesus. Whatever the stress is that you're dealing with, whatever is conflicting you, I want you to just trade this. This is Matthew 11:28. Because he's in it. And this is your affirmation for you to trade and be free. Do you want to be free? Take the first steps of freedom. Unplug and plug in to the Holy Spirit. It's hard, you know, honestly, night owls, it's really hard. As I'm listening to you, Jenny, talk about what's gripping you, and sometimes we have to take off the tentacles of the octopus. And it is that saying that he comes seeking who he can kill, steal, and destroy. He wants to kill your faith. He wants to destroy you. And he's using every means necessary. And sometimes we give him the benefit of the doubt and we extol him. But when you just unplug and you're no longer open for business, it's like when you go to a supermarket that's not 24 hours a day. At some point, they're closed for business. They lock the doors, turn the lights off, and everybody goes home. And you can't go shop. And in the same token tonight, I want you to just, as you rest and lay down, just unplug. Unplug from everything, turn power down, and just be in the presence of God tonight. Be expectant to just receive love. Be expectant to receive a revelation. You've received a confirmation or an affirmation from your 24-hour day, and then you come to this moment. A divine schedule to remind you, just unplug, plug into Father, plug into His Spirit, cooperate with Him, and focus to the best of your ability. And in the areas that you may need to ask for forgiveness, just ask for forgiveness and keep it moving. You know, what is happening is gravitating into tearing down families and relationships and marriages. And this is not of God. And you got this. I want you to be encouraged tonight. You have this. And if I can be here for you, please, by all means, you can send us an email, NiteMoodzHDQ@gmail.com. Thank you for calling in. And I want to invite you, seriously, to join us 10:30. I don't know where are you calling from, by the way? East Coast? Okay, you're an hour ahead. So about 11:30 your time, the show begins, and we do a relaxation set. And I would invite you to join us whenever you have time. The Oasis is always open. The Lighthouse is open. 30 minutes of relaxation to just help people get into the secret place, help the children of God get in the secret place, help the children of God receive care, receive unconditional love, and trade the burdens, trade the stress. And live. Be free and live. Galatians 5:13. You have been placed and been given freedom. The distractions are for those purposes, to distract you from your purpose. So return back to your purpose. Take another deep breath. Stay with me here as we close up the show. I'll put you on hold and I'll talk to you for a little bit. Is that okay? Okay. Hang on with me. This is Night Owls. This is Night Moodz's HDQ. You just heard one of the Night Owls call in for a first time. And it's real out there. And this is the purpose, one of the missions of this show on this side of inspiration, to help. And everyone is going through something, especially here in the States where you can turn on a television and get smacked in the face with some junk. I call it schizophrenia news. And it's all conditioned to distract you from your purpose. And I want you to be encouraged tonight. Be encouraged and remind yourself that you are free. Free from the bondages, free from the shackles, the distractions that want to come in and harm you, harm the mind, harm the family dynamics, and keep you off track. But beloved, it's time to get back on track. It's time to plug in. Time to reset. And if we can help you here at Nite Moodz's, then stop by. The Oasis is always open. The lighthouse is on. And Gina, I want to thank you for calling in. I'll talk to you off the show in a couple seconds here. But you can join me tomorrow night, 10:30. How to let it go. 30 minutes of relaxation and inspiration. It's been fun, guys. It's been fun, Night Owls. You all have an awesome night. Check in. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know if you like the show, what you don't like about the show, and have a blessed night. I will see you all tomorrow night, right here in the lab. NiteMoodzHDQ. Until then, good night. Got a call to make, and we'll come back live here. We're going to push you on pause. Going to handle a caller on the show. But this is what we do for NiteMoodzHDQ, is help the Night Owls get to a higher vantage point, be free. And this is the inspiration side. Kind of abbreviated show. I'll come back and we'll finish this up. Part 2 of how to let it go. With me, yours truly, Michael, here in the lab, NiteMoodzHDQ. The podcast begins in a little bit.